Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Stoveside Chats. My name is Chad Blackwelder with the North Carolina Department of Agriculture. I do food service marketing. Thanks for joining us today. We've been doing the Stoveside Chats for, I don't know, I've lost track of time. I guess it's been about 4 months now. But it's been a lot of fun. Salty Shore Soapworks, thank you for joining us. Key Jaycock, thank you for joining us. R3DD Small, join. Thank you. Thanks for waving, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to bring in our guest today, Chef Gragg. All right, Chef Zach is our the last installment of the seafood festival that we have going on. Hey, Chef.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good, man. Hope you are.
Doing good. Enjoying this nice sunny weather we got today. So
it is. It's beautiful. So this is Chef Zach Gragg with local Oyster Bar in Raleigh and also in Durham. Chef Zach was one of the 4 chefs we had doing the chef's boxes for the North Carolina Seafood Festival. Go to ncseafoodfestival.org and you can get all the information about the release schedule and how to order those boxes. Chef, welcome, man. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it.
Cool. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about your background and how you wound up at Locals.
So kind of my background on cooking, spent a lot of time with my grandparents and a lot of family members, just kind of in the kitchen by their hips, by their sides, kind of taking in a lot. Ended up going to culinary school at Johnson & Wales in Charlotte, graduated there in 2016, I believe, and then moved up to Raleigh, just kind of worked around a couple different kitchens. And previously, before getting to Locals Oyster Bar, I was at Standard Foods in the most recent iteration. And that's where I met Eric Montagny, who is our executive chef here. And he and I have just formed a really great relationship. We've done a lot of side projects together, a lot of different things, different ventures that we've kind of done. But definitely feel like we have something really cooking really good here at the Locals Oyster Bar.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I've had the chance to eat there a couple times. The food is always fantastic. Tell us what you guys are doing at Locals and how you set yourself apart from the other guys.
So prior to COVID, something that we were taking a lot of kind of likening to was kind of playing around with seafood charcuterie. So we were just any technique that you had, whether it was pastrami, whether it was like kind of country ham pastramis, we were trying to take those same techniques and then apply them to fish. Obviously, it's a little bit more difficult because fish protein doesn't necessarily meld the same or isn't the same texture as would like beef or a pork product. So you have to find the right cut of fish and the right kind of style of fish that can produce the most similar quality. So we had a lot of success doing that. We were even fermenting some like some fish salamis, some swordfish salamis, kind of letting them hang for about 2 weeks or 20 days in our walk-in. Got a really nice like lacto-fermented flavor on them. So yeah, we were kind of just expanding the horizon. We basically like to take all techniques of food. So whether it's doing like a coq au vin or whether it's some sort of old world style French technique, and then just try to take that if it is applied to a different protein and apply it to fish. So.
Yeah, I had the shrimp hot dog or the shrimp sausage. Man, that's so good. And I think you said it's hey, Laughing Spell, thanks for joining us. You said it's ground shrimp and also some pork fat, and it's in a natural casing, correct?
So it's actually there's no pork fat in that sausage at all. Oh. That one is we use scallops, and we actually use like the scallop feet as the kind of emulsifier to the sausage. So it's just shrimp scallops, and then it's in a natural lamb casing.
Okay. Yeah, a friend of mine and I ate there for lunch. We had it there. Then I also picked some up at the State Farmers Market location, and made just like a dank, swampy gumbo and put some of that shrimp sausage in there, and it was fantastic. Tell us about the tuna burger that you guys are doing.
Yeah, so we kind of in the same vein of using different ideas whenever we kind of approach fish. So something that we saw, because Eric and I both spent time in the cut room. So our restaurant, Locals Oyster Bar, is kind of the first flagship restaurant that is coming from Local Seafood. So Local Seafood is, some of you may know, is a purveyor of fresh fish to the Greater Triangle area. So prior to working at Locals Oyster Bar, Eric and I both spent about 2 or 3 months in the cut room, just every day scaling, gutting, cleaning fish, because we really wanted to get our um, practices to the best that they could be, or excuse me, our skills to the best they could be before coming in here. And we also just kind of wanted to work with the team because the same owners that own local seafood are involved with local oyster bar. So we kind of just wanted to build a rapport with those guys. And so in that time that we were there, there's a lot of tuna that's clean. There could be anywhere from 200 to 300 pounds of fresh tuna that come in on a weekly basis. And we noticed with a lot of it, there's a lot of waste. And naturally, anytime you're cutting a whole animal, whatever it is, there's a lot of waste that builds up. But we noticed that something that was constantly being thrown away was what's called bloodline. So it's essentially the meat that's all around the kind of skeletal system of the fish. And so we kind of cook some of. I've eaten it before, and it can be fishy and offensive, but if it's prepared the right way, then it's not at all. And so we kind of played around with like kind of the understanding what it is. And so the bloodline itself just naturally has a higher iron content and a higher kind of iron and like blood flavor. And so what translates to that is kind of going to the beef world. And so that's where we kind of played around with, oh, let's make a burger out of it. Let's see if we can do other things. And we've had a lot of success with it.
Yeah, it's really good. And I mean, you guys do it on the flat top, right? You get kind of a crust on it.
Yeah.
It's really good. And I understand how the chef brain works, and the butcher's mind also. When you see waste, you want to try to avoid putting things in the bin, to increase
Right.
your bottom line. So I'm sure y'all's brains were just going nuts in there, thinking about all kinds of cool ways to be able to use stuff like that. That's really, really smart. And now you guys have 2 locations. You're in Transfer Hall in downtown Raleigh, and then you're also in Durham at the Durham Food Hall, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Durham location opened up actually kind of during COVID. It was like earlier May, kind of late April, early May. It was a soft open. We're having a lot of success out there. It's actually really cool to see. It's a completely different business model almost, because out in Durham, it's more of like a fresh seafood market. They'll sell just pounds and pounds of fresh fish on every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Whereas here, we're more of like a restaurant that we can sell fish. Out there, they're selling a lot of fresh seafood, which is good. It's a good thing.
And they're still doing some like hot food and prepared stuff at the Durham location as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a much smaller kitchen sort of setup. I don't know if you've been out there yet, but it's only about the size of like our front facing area. So
Okay.
much smaller square footage. But yeah, they have full kitchen, full line. And that one's just taking a little bit while just because the Durham Food Halls, they're being a little bit kind of cautious about opening up the hall. And so
Sure.
there isn't as much foot traffic right now. So and essentially it's opening up a new business. So you have to kind of build like the relationships with the people, which it's going good, but like it's more of like a trust has to be built with the community. But it's
Yeah,
going
no,
good.
that makes sense. It's sort of there's a lot of shared areas and stuff like that in that sort of
Right.
scenario. You guys, make sure you go check out some of the new food halls. Again, Transfer Food Hall in Raleigh, Morgan Street Food Hall in Raleigh, Durham Food Hall. Great concepts in there. You guys are one of many great businesses that are taking a part of that new sort of venue, kind of like a upscale food court, if you will.
Yeah.
Extended, on top of that, you don't have to go to a mall, which is even better. Even better.
Right.
So, so yeah, and now you guys have 3 market locations as well.
Yes, we have a couple of different. We actually have a few more than that. It just depends on the time of year whenever they're opening up. So we have
Okay.
we have our 2 locations in Raleigh. That's the State Farmers Market, and then we have the location at Transfer. We have a location in Durham. We have 2 different locations one in Carborough and one in Cary that are just. It depends on the time of the year when they're open. But
Okay.
local seafood has a plethora of market options for sure.
Yeah, I typically hit the one at the State Farmers Market in Raleigh. And you guys are also doing cool things with fish skin, which I'd never seen before. But local seafood is making dog treats, right?
Yeah. So again, kind of in the same idea of waste not, want not. Trigger skins, if anyone's familiar with that, the hide is essentially like Kevlar. Very hard to cut through with a knife. And we kind of played with it here, or excuse me, this was a local seafood project long before we got on, where they were just we would kind of roll them up almost like a cigar and dehydrate them. And they hold their Christmas. Dogs love them. They definitely make your dog's breath smell a little bit bad, but they enjoy the
Yeah.
treat nonetheless.
Yeah. Yeah. I got some for my dog Archie. He loved them. So I'll
Yeah.
definitely be back to get more of those. Um, I know that I was on your website earlier checking you guys out. Tell us about the driveway shucking program you guys have going on.
Yeah, so we just recently started that up in the last probably month or so, understanding that people are starting to get a little bit more lax and comfortable with where we're at. We do know that a lot of our customers miss coming in to the oyster bar and getting fresh shucked oysters from Gary or whoever is behind the oyster bar. So we kind of wanted to provide that atmosphere with people. So we're doing it on on Saturdays and Sundays from 4 to 8 p.m. It's basically like it's a pre-order system. So you can call anytime or order online, and you just kind of set up your date and the amount of oysters, the amount of people, and we'll kind of take care of the rest. We can offer a couple of varieties of oysters if that was something that you would be into, so that you can kind of try a few different types. But it's had a lot of success. We've had basically since we've started, we've had a driveway shucking every Saturday and Sunday, and a couple of those we have like multiple ones. So one like early in the afternoon and then one late at night. So it's been definitely a huge success thus far.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about COVID. What did you guys do during that whole situation when you guys were able to get back open even at 50%? How did you guys manage that?
Yeah, so we are probably one of the few outliers that actually never closed at all during COVID. So we closed for like the first 2 days whenever everything hit, just to try and build a game plan, kind of understand what we wanted to do, and kind of wanted just trying to figure out like what was the best options for us. And so initially we shrunk our week down to just a few days a week. We mostly wanted to keep all of our staff employed. That was just something that we wanted to do. And then we also developed a restaurant industry kind of food meal program. And so on every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we would cook between 20 and 50 meals individually portioned. And we had kind of an email sign up sheet for restaurant industry, like our friends or other people, if they knew someone who was kind of struggling, was out of a job, that we were able to provide a meal for them. So we did that for probably the first couple weeks or months. And then that kind of turned into our relationship with the Interfaith Food Shuttle program. And so we've been doing that ever since then. It's been really good. We just recently opened up to full 7 days, probably at the end of summer. And we're actually we're looking to extending our hours to the same hours that we held before COVID. So open till 11 on the weekends, open till 10 every day. It's been really good. It hasn't been good. It's been good to see the traction start to come back in.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you guys do a weekly beer and seafood pairing too, right?
Yeah. So we were working with Burial a little bit to try and get some more cross promotion between us, since they are a stone's throw away from our location. Just trying to get some build a bigger brand image between the two of us. That was a really big success. It allowed us the creativity to be able to kind of do off menu dishes and pair them with their beer, which is, if anyone's never had it, it is exceptional beer. I haven't had no duds from me, in my opinion. But it was really good to be able to just do a weekly pairing with them.
Yeah, very cool. Well, Chef, we're out of time. I appreciate you being here. For those watching, you guys stick around a little bit longer. We're going to talk about the Seafood Festival and this week's winner. Chef Zach, thank you so much for taking 15 minutes out of your, I know, busy day to chat with us for a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
All right. Thanks for being a part of the Seafood Festival as well.
Yeah, that was good. You guys definitely get your boxes for sure.
That's right. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, later.
Bye-bye. All right, that was Chef Zach Gragg of Local Seafood. Okay, so you guys know we're going to give away another seafood box in just a few seconds. It's going to be Chef Bobby Zimmerman's Grouper Escabeche. Again, the seafood boxes do not have the seafood in them, has everything else you need. So this week, our winner is Gwendolyn Jones of Monroe, North Carolina. You're the big winner. So congratulations. You're going to have a lot of fun with this. Again, on the recipe card, there's a QR code that you can scan with your phone and watch Chef Bobby's video and cook along with him. Make sure you go, and you should be getting your box next Tuesday or Wednesday, I think. So again, you know, the produce box, they'll be in touch with you about when that's arriving. So make sure you go get your North Carolina grouper, or any other North Carolina firm flesh fish would work great in that recipe. I got to try it there when Chef Bobby made it, and I made it a couple weeks later at home. And it's really, really great way to use fish and kind of preserve it for a couple of days. So congratulations, Gwendolyn. And for the other folks, we have 2 more weeks. So make sure you are following at Got2BNC on Instagram. And each week there will be a post about the box, the contents of the box. When you see that post, thank you for viewing that post. We have a lot of people viewing them. Make sure you're also liking it. That like will get your handle thrown into the hat to get picked to win one of those last 2 boxes. So make sure you go and do that. Next week we have Chef Anders Benton of Gia in Winston-Salem. Then after that we have Matt Tunnell of L&M Produce, and then the week after that we have Scott Shabbat from Cisco Raleigh. So we'll finish up this month talking to some wholesalers and distributors and that sort of thing. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then talking to chefs is always fun. And then we're starting to get stuff lined up for November. So thank you guys for joining us. I'll see you all next Wednesday at 2 o'clock.